Welcome Home Craftsman. What in the world is it? What does it do? What does it mean? Why is it even in business? The Welcome Home Craftsman was just born out of my love of design and also functional homes. And I truly recognize everybody has a different opinion as to what is a functional home based on maybe the way that you grew up yourself. All of us have different circumstances. And I think just that thoughtfulness right there in the things that I just mentioned is something I don't always hear about. Or if I do, it's so crafted and curated around a company that owns pillows or because they want your business. So here I am going to just put this on the record. I'm not talking about this because I need or want your business. Welcome Home Craftsman is a very straightforward company in which I flip houses. But the sweetness of it is all of the decisions made behind it is the consideration that it is a family that lives there. Now, let's not do the whole discrimination of, but because I don't have kids, then like that company isn't always thinking of me. No, actually, I'm not. I'm not. I grew up as an only child in a single family home. And the difficulties that arose out of affordable housing, that's a big buzzword, isn't it? Affordable housing. Single family home at that time was difficult, more difficult, I would say, than now. Now I feel like, for one, there's so much surrounding that conversation of now there's just help and resources. And for goodness sakes, we have the internet. So if you're not finding something that you need, now you have the internet and you can just find what it is that you need. At that time, there was not those resources. And schools were pretty black and white as far as what they could and could not do or assist you in. And so why am I telling you this? Because all of these things have led to the Welcome Home Craftsman as a whole. And it was important to me that homes functioned as how best to raise and cultivate an amazing family that who is pursuing thriving in a community no matter what season of life that they are in. One of the unique things about us is when we have conversations with the tradesmen that we choose to work with, the conversation is a little bit different. And it goes something like this. This house is probably, due to the demographics and where it is located, going to have at least one working parent. And they most likely work at the battery plant that is here in town. And they probably are not native to the lakeshore. They probably have 2 children, and they probably have one of the parents is staying home. This particular home is close to churches and ice cream stores and schools, private school systems in particular. And we need to really consider the likelihood of who is going to want to live here and to make sure that from the electrical to how the backyard landscaping is laid out is conducive to this imaginary family that is probably going to be the one to purchase this home. I don't know. Does anyone talk about it like that when I think of these other companies? Sometimes maybe it's just the marketing piece to that, but I feel like when I hear or see other companies talking about it, it's to the realm of you need a new roof and we're the only ones to do it because the name of our company is Roofs Are Us. But I don't really hear any additional extension of the why of the company and what their goal is unless it's somehow monetary related. So having grown up in a single family home, I have lived in places that were not conducive to children being raised. And that, let's be really careful here because everybody gets super judgy and offended. That is not to find fault with how I grew up. I have a true heart for single family in particular. And that's why I love homes. I don't know if you guys even realize this, but like I jokingly say I gave birth to my besties because I grew up as an only children or as an only child. And it's a little bit ridiculous, but I say that to put myself on the chopping block of, I guess, vulnerability to be even made fun of because, for one, I'm just showing you what my truths are. And that family is incredibly important to me. And the experiences that I had growing up in, at times, a community that was not that supportive. And I want to be able to be part of the conversation of how can I create beautiful homes that think of all things. I wish I could say I was only doing homes that were deemed for affordable housing, but that's not the case. It's not the case. I don't have that kind of funds where I could. I wish I could, right? I wish I could buy just a whole block of land and like put 50 homes on it, and they all are under 100,000. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, I wish I could. I wish I could make a living and have such a surplus of money that I would be able to do that and give that to my community, but I can't. And so these homes are meant to be on the market for families to be able to grow into each and every season. And they are more in town spaces, so that they are in close proximity to schools, places of faith, so that they're walkable. And that is by choice, considering the background of wanting it to be for an actual family, because I love families. We have a realtor that we really love, until one of my children become a realtor themselves. But anyway, that's another story. And we had him go through the house as it is right now, which is still in some of the construction phases. And it really surprised me what he said, and it was this: people don't own a toolbox anymore, Quinn. They don't have a hammer. So back in the day, we would buy houses and we would fix them up, and we would live with houses that had ugly shag carpeting or a kitchen that was less than ideal, and you would never take photographs of it and put it on anything social. And that's not the case anymore. That people are purchasing homes that are truly complete, with the tulip bulbs ready to go to be planted in the fall, and with the spigots and hoses hooked up properly already to the house with the winder, right? Like all of the details, that there are butler pantries, that there is a little doggy tub wash built into the house, that you do have LED lighting that is behind the mirrors in the bathrooms, that the outlets are so beautifully done that they blend into the walls. One of the phrases he had used was, if a couple is walking through and yours looks like an Airbnb and you're selling the glass plates with it and the fireplace accessories over the house that might be $60,000 less, but it does have some ugly wallpaper in the kitchen, so you will probably have to change that. And the laundry room is in kind of a weird spot in the basement, which is kind of grungy. His words were, they will be choosing yours. These home buyers are willing to wait longer or pay more for a home that is truly complete, that is stunning to hold parties or to put into their socials, and that it meets all of the requirements of a growing family that has a dog and a cat and has a community that they want to be obsessed with. Um, so everybody doing flip houses, looking at investments. Let's skip over the gray floor, white walls, gray counter. I've been in quite a few homes that you're like, was there a woman involved in any of these decisions for this house being flipped? Because everything is gray, white, and clippity clap wood flooring. Putting true personality and thought behind the design choices, and why you're doing what you're doing, I think that matters. I think in this day and age in which there are people with a lot of money and access, like there are many of us that have access to things that our parents didn't have access to. And so it's a privilege. It's an amazing blessing of the innovation of how quickly the world has moved. Welcome Home Craftsman has a different vision, has a different goal in mind, and always at the end of the day, it's to enrich the lives of families and how they're able to contribute to the community that I live in. And I hope to hear more from businesses and suppliers in which we get to see the owners or the purpose behind the brands as to why they do what they do. So that's a little bit about the Welcome Home Craftsman. And I'm excited to share with you guys as this company continues to develop and move ahead. Homes matter. How they were put together matters, and how your family can thrive with them is something that should matter to all of us. So thanks for listening and diving a little bit deeper into another facet of the Quinn Essential Life. Until next time.